creatures of the night. It's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. They had a 2-night event this weekend, and I'm going to let you know right off the bat my rating for the shows. I give it a 7 for both nights, and the reason why I feel like it ranked a little higher than it probably should have is because the main events in these shows were really strong, very strong, so strong. It was like a reminder to me as to why I love pro wrestling so much. It was a really great show for them to have, especially for their inaugural show. And I thought that there were great production value, although there were some hiccups, but we're going to let that slide. And we also had Ronaldo and Uncle Don, my Uncle Don, on commentary for both nights, and the chemistry between these two guys were really great. You know, you got to have a baby face commentator and a heel commentator, the perfect chemistry, and it was really great listening to them. I didn't have to mute it like it was AEW Dynamite or something. It was really great. Now, I will say this, that this is not a new promotion. This is a revival of Maple Leaf Wrestling. And if y'all want a little history lesson or something, y'all gonna have to just Google it, because I don't have time for this video. This is a revival of Maple Leaf Wrestling. Scott D'Amore, earlier this year had got the boot from TNA out of the blue, and people were wondering, like, what was he gonna do next, if he was gonna go on to work with WWE or maybe AEW. And it turns out he was cooking something with Maple Leaf Wrestling, and this was their first show. And honestly, all in all, I did enjoy it. Now, there is some things here to take note of, is that there are wrestlers from all types of promotions that are currently signed that were on the show. I'm not sure where they're going with Maple Leaf Wrestling at this point in terms of like weekly shows or whatnot, but they do have a pro wrestling alliance similar to NWA, where they have an alliance with Qatar Pro Wrestling and also Oceania Pro Wrestling as well, all overseas promotion. So that gives a lot of wrestlers some good exposure and camera time, and I do appreciate that. So they do have titles that travel between all three promotions. And another thing that I want to take note of is that we also had TNA wrestlers here as well, and we also had AEW wrestlers here, and I feel like that's a plus to getting AEW and TNA to possibly work together again. But there's also a little bit of a negative here. That little negative, it falls on AEW. AEW has done zero to promote this, yet they had Athena and Takesha. Takesha was on both nights of these shows in the main event, and I felt it was really interesting that now they're gone back to taking the international title that used to be called the Atlantic All Atlantic title when it first came out, and Pac used to go overseas and defend the title. They had a horrible time, for whatever reason, putting that out there for AEW fans to see. But this time, here is Takesha with the international title, who's doing his first title defense overseas. Well, not overseas, technically, just right across the border in Canada. And honestly, there's no promoting this. And I felt like, okay, that's really strange that your champion would be there defending your title, Athena, as well, and you guys didn't promote this. And also, there was AEW commercials promoting Dynamite and promoting Dynamite for Halloween and all this shit. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Something about that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm like, so many people has waited for Takesha to win this title. So many people has waited to see Athena do bigger and better things outside of Ring of Honor, and I just felt like there really wasn't no marketing from AEW to say to their fans, hey, go on over to Maple Leaf Wrestling. They're pretty much our wrestling partners. Go and see our guys and girls over there killing it. Now, we did have a pretty strong show. We started off with night one. We had Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, and El Phantasmo, pretty much the Canadian team, versus Alex Zane, Rocky Romero, and Trevor Lee. This was a really great opening match. I do recommend this match here. Rocky Romero say, hey, look, I got paid, the check's cleared, I'm going to be your bad guy. And I absolutely love it. And one thing I would say here, for me that I felt was that, yes, we know this is a Canadian promotion, but I felt like there was a huge emphasis on really, I don't know how to say it, but there is it's really damn, like a little bit too much of, yes, this is a Canadian promotion, and our guys are the best and all that stuff. It's something about it was felt like, okay, well, we can take it down a bit. We already know this is pretty much giving Canada versus the world, so just tone it down a little bit. Other than that, it was great. Stu Grayson, I haven't seen your ass in a long time, so it was great to see him there. Now, we did also have QT Marshall, who was with Harley Cameron this weekend, so it was great to see Harley and her antics over there as well. He went against Jupinder. I forgot his last name, Jupinder something. I'm sorry if I'm butchering names or whatever. And the match was okay. Don't really recommend this one. We also had the women's in action as well. We had Kylie Ray, Aurora Tevez, Lainey Luck, and Taylor Rising. And honestly, it was maybe 5 minutes or so. Something about this felt like they was like, wrap this shit up, we got other things to do. And I just couldn't get with it because it was too quick. Before this match, we did have Kylie, who was cutting a promo being friendly as fuck. I know that's like part of her her little gimmick here, but something about it was just like, I just couldn't get into this match. It was quick. The promo before it just lost me. And something about it I felt like we could have put better emphasis on. Now, we did have the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line. We have the Jet Setters versus Aiden Prince, El Reverso, Brent Bakes, Johnny Swinger, and a Rogue Squadron. This right here, absolutely recommend. Tag team wrestling is on the rise, so we do appreciate that. Really fun match here, especially if you're following New Japan. Then the Jet Setters is definitely, keep your eyes out on them. I feel like been waiting for them to get their hands on some titles, and really fun match. This is the only time that the only times that this title was on the line. But I will say this, is that pretty much everybody you saw on night 1 is on night 2. And I wasn't really sure because up until like the day of, or maybe the night before, is when we finally had the complete card for night 2. And that's when I realized, oh, okay, pretty much everybody that was on night 1 is coming back for night 2, except for Athena. She's, I think, the only person who was not involved in night 1 to be in night 2. After this, we have the PWA Champion Grails title on the line. We had Rohan Raja versus Jake something. And this is for the inaugural championship. So one of these guys is going to be the first one to take out the win. To me, I felt like something about this felt a little bit off. And one of the reasons why I felt like this is because I know we had bigger names on the card, but I felt like this match wasn't made to feel like a big deal. This is your inaugural championship that you're having here. And something about it just felt like, well, we got bigger stars on the card. We're going to make that feel more important. Sure, that is true, but I just felt like they could have done a little bit more to make this feel better. This could have been what I would have considered to be a triple main event show, and unfortunately they didn't go that route. Rohan ends up taking the win, which I feel like they should have went with Jake something to take the win. Now, after this, we have a tables match. We have a tables match with Bully Ray versus Raj Desi. Raj Desi obviously used to be known as Jinder Mahal in AEW. And when I tell you tall, dark, and handsome, Lord have mercy. Oh my God. You know what? Let me not get into it. This right here had potential. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this on the card, I was just like, this is my bathroom break. Now, was it bad? No. But the foolishness was in full force with this one. Bully Ray is being a bully. He is bullying the ring announcer. That poor girl. He was making her say two-time Ring of Honor, WWE TNA, Hall of Famer, and all that stuff. Just making her say things that she obviously didn't want to say, but she said it anyway. And then he had the nerve to tell her to say that he was handsome. And I was like, wait, hold on. All those other things might be true about you, Hall of Famer and one of the best tag teams in the world. But handsome, this is where I draw the line. Now, he ends up really, this is one of those things where I was saying where it's like clear Canada versus everyone else, where it was Bully Ray really digging into the Canadian audience, when really I kind of felt like it's not needed. We already don't like you, bruh. You don't have to do all that. And Raj Desi, he comes out and they have a tables match. There's tables surrounding the ring. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of felt like at times things felt okay, but the chemistry wasn't 100% there. It was just one of those things where it's like, Bully Ray, you doing something on Saturday? No, come on over to Canada. We'll pay for your flight and this food over here at catering. So it's one of those situations. And what happened was, two ref bumps in the fucking match for no motherfucking reason. When Bully ends up bullying the referee and hurting the ref, and he had to take a bump, then you know that whole thing where the Dudleys do that thing where they do a headbutt onto your crotch or whatever. Jinder made the referee do that to Bully to get his revenge. But then, interesting enough, when we do have Jinder, which, why I keep calling him Jinder? Y'all know who I'm talking about, goes and put him through a table. Whoever gets to a table first is the one who loses. Now, he puts Bully through the table. Referee done took a bump, so he laid out and pretty much dead for like 3 minutes. And then here comes, what's his name? QT Marshall, who comes out to help Bully. And they end up putting, what did he do? He did something to Jinder, and then he laid Jinder on the table after he moved Bully out the way, and the referee just happened to wake up and see the table broken, and then Bully ends up taking the win. For me, too much shenanigans, and I just couldn't get into it. After this, we have the ladies in action, Giselle Shaw versus Miyu Yamashita. This absolutely recommends. Really, really great match. And I actually appreciated the women's match being pretty much co-main events on both of these shows. I felt like the ladies really brought it, at least for this match. And man, I'm telling you, Giselle Shaw, she is definitely she looks amazing in the ring. Really great chemistry with Miyu. I would love to see a lot more from her, hopefully in AEW, somewhere. We need to see a little bit more. I think a lot of people don't know who she is and probably haven't gotten that exposure that she needs outside of Japan. Definitely recommend this match. Giselle obviously going against Athena in night 2. She needs this win. She ends up picking it up, and I absolutely agree with this result. On to the main event, and what I believe is the best match out of both nights. Takeshita, Lord have mercy, versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Oh my God, almost 25 minutes, we're close to that, of these two guys just putting on what I feel like is definitely contender for match of the year. Oh my God, when I've said this before, wrestling could be a sexual experience, and this is one of them where it's just like, holy shit, this is doing something to me. So good. The chemistry between these two is absolutely fucking amazing. I know there's been like highlight videos going around or whatever. Y'all not seeing nothing. Them highlight videos, they're showing you something, but to watch the match from start to finish has just been absolutely amazing. Definitely like one of those match of the year contenders for sure. If this ain't on somebody's top 5 list, then you just did not see this match for it to be on your list. It's absolutely fucking insane. Takeshita, at times I was just like, well, there's no way he's gonna lose it the first title offense. But there were times where Mike was just like, you know what, baby, if you end up taking this win, like, I won't even be mad either. However, we've been praying for so long for Takeshita to get this title, that there's just no way that we're going to accept for him to lose it, and he ends up taking the win, and I absolutely agree with that. And I really wish that there was some type of marketing promotions of this coming from AEW side, so that people could know that this was fucking happening. Pay-per-view for both nights where it was $30, and not bad. And I felt like, you know, with a 7 out of 10, I think it was worth it for me, especially with some of these matches being just absolutely knocking it out of the park. I would say Takeshita match with Mike Bailey is like a fucking 10 10 stars out of 10. Giselle, I would give it like 8. But then we have night 2 where we also had some really great matches as well. So now we have night 2 where we have the Jet Setters that are teaming up with Aiden Prince. They're going against Rohan Raja, Rocky Romero, and Rohit Raju. This was okay. I mean, I probably wouldn't go out my way for this, but it was great. Jet Setters and Aiden Prince end up taking the win. After this, we do have the Qatar Championship on the line, and that was against El Reverso and Classy Ali. This was okay. I still do feel like when it comes to Maple Leaf Wrestling, I understand this is their first show and people are not familiar with their titles or what's within their alliance. I do feel like those matches should be higher up on the card so that they can get the audience familiar with these championships so that this is what they're looking forward to somewhere down the line, rather than them having to rely on other stars from other companies to come over and pretty much be at the top of the card. So for me, I wish this was better. El Reverso ends up taking the win. After this, we have Miyu Yamashita teaming up with Kylie Rae against Harley Cameron and Lainey Luck. Fucking Harley is just fucking hilarious. I love her. However, her team ends up taking the L. This is okay. Also, wouldn't probably go out my way to see this match. Now, we do have Harley, who has, obviously, she has something going on with QT, and QT and Bully, they're, I guess, not friends or anything, but they have formed an alliance, and Harley is just cutting crazy promos that are pretty much taking inspiration from the Dudleys, and even Bully Ray is just like, what the fuck is this bitch on? She is crazy as fuck, and honestly, I love it. Now after this, we have 6 wrestlers in the ring. For one fall, everyone for themselves. We have Mike Rollins, Stu Grayson, Alex Zane, Trevor Lee, Jake Something, and Sheldon Jean. And these guys, I felt like this was a great match. You get a chance to see a bit of everybody and a little bit of what everybody has to offer. However, Mike Rollins ended up taking the win. I would definitely recommend this match. Another very, very great match here was Mike Bailey versus El Phantasmo. Oh my God, this is another one. Very, very good. Mike Bailey, y'all not talking enough about Mike Bailey and what he's doing. Like, he is fucking killing it. And oh my God, this match should have been a little bit higher up on the card, because we do have another Foolishness match after this, before the 2 main events. And something about this was just like, holy shit. I would give this like a 9. I would give this a 9. It was so great. The chemistry, oh my God, was just absolutely out the park. And I'm looking at this, I'm watching this match, and I'm just like, holy shit, this is not the main event. And is this good? Holy shit, what is the main event going to give us? And we had an amazing main event. But before this, we do have Bhupinder and Raj Desi. They are teaming up to go against QT Marshall and Bully Ray after the whole foolishness had happened from the night 1 with the tables and all that shit. Obviously the heels end up taking the L here, and Harley Cameron is getting involved trying to help her team take the win, and it doesn't work at all. But Harley definitely will bring on the laps. I probably would skip this altogether. I know this is a wrestling show, don't have to be serious. We can get some laughs in or whatnot, but something about it where it's just like, all right, the silly stuff should be over. I'm ready for the main event. Now, we had the Ring of Honor Women's Championship on the line. Our forever champion, Athena, versus Giselle Shaw. Oh my God, this was so great. And let me just say this, after watching this match and seeing people commenting online, people are just like, why the fuck is she not on the main roster when she is doing shit like this? The chemistry between these two were absolutely amazing. It was one of those things where it's just like, sit your ass up and watch type of match. I just was just like, holy shit, like, look at Athena. Athena is a star. Giselle's a star as well. However, Athena, she's been for 2 years, close to 2 years in December, champion, and she's been in Ring of Honor pretty much hiding behind a paywall, and most people don't even have Ring of Honor to watch her and to see how amazing that she's doing. It's just, oh my god, I cannot believe that she's not on the main roster. I think that they might in the future take more advantage of her doing these shows outside of Ring of Honor, outside of AEW, a little bit more before she ends up giving the title up. But damn, she was just an absolute star. And I know people are just like, Tony Khan, get her on the main roster. She's absolutely ready. She's being ready. I don't know what we're waiting on. Really great match. I absolutely recommend this. This is something I'll definitely give a 9. Now, main event. We had an international title on the line. Once again, our boy Takeshita coming out there with Uncle Don this time. The night before Uncle Don didn't come out. Uncle Don is wearing new shoes. That's great. You've been watching my videos, Uncle Don? And he comes out with Takeshita, but he ends up going back on commentary for the rest of the match. Now, he is going against Josh Alexander, and the styles between both of these matches that Takeshita was in is so different. Josh brings something so different in comparison to Mike Bailey, but I still feel like the match, the main event from night 1 was better to me. This right here, I'll definitely give an 8 because the style was just closer to Takeshita, and something about it where it's just like, okay, night 1, something felt magical between Takeshita and Mike. Now, there were some times where I was getting a little worried. We did have Takeshita, who is playing on a little knee injury. And when I looked a little bit close, it looked like he had kinesio tape on his knee. I can't tell too much because he had the black knee pads over it. So I'm not 100% sure. And there was a time or two where he tweaked his ankle. And I also have to say that Mama Diamore was sitting front row watching the action, getting in on the action, which I do appreciate her being there and watching and enjoying the show. I love it. But Takeshita is oh man, oh my god, he ends up taking the win, and he is so fucking dominant, and I'm so afraid to see like what happens with this title reign. Are people really going to be able to see him internationally? Will AEW do a great job with showing Takeshita outside of AEW? They've had this opportunity before when there was the All Atlantic title. I'm not sure what they're going to do with it this time, so I'm a little bit nervous. We'll see what ends up happening with that. After the match, Takeshita, Uncle Don in the ring, Uncle Don doing all that talking, and then all of a sudden they look at Josh Alexander and they start stomping him out. Uncle Don with the new shoes stomping out on Josh Alexander. And who comes out to save Josh? It's Ricochet. Ricochet done got his little passport together, went on over to Canada, and he went to stop the foolishness after this match. And Takeshita ends up fleeing away without the title. Uncle Don is just like, no, we left the title in the ring. Who's going to get the title for us? And Ricochet's like, bitch, come get it. Come get it. Now, when that's happening, Josh Alexander stands up. And he looks like he was going to attack Ricochet. But he doesn't. And they end up shaking hands. Ricochet holds the title up in the air. And I'm just like, bitch, you wish you would take that off Takeshita. We've been praying for the longest for Takeshita to win this. This is not happening anytime soon. I'm pretty sure they're going towards like something for Full Gear between Takeshita and Ricochet. But man, the show, really great. When I tell you like these main event matches were just absolutely just worth it. Just fucking worth it. And I really think that for Maple Leaf first show that they really nailed it. And I can't wait to see what's in store for them in the future. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back on Wednesday as usual with Dynamite. See you guys then. Bye.